in their coaching and their running game, but having the Seahawks on the cover +5, I feel like I'm on the right side of both things. We move now to Saturday. Like I said, big week of games. We've covered Thursday. Now we go to Saturday with no college football. We get a lot more NFL action through our weekend, and that starts at 1 p.m. with the 4-8-1 Indianapolis Colts playing the 10-3 Minnesota Vikings, who come off a loss to the Detroit Lions. This game and the games on Saturday will be on NFL Network. The Vikings are a 4-point favorite where I see it, and the over-under set at 48.5 points. Give you a few gambling trends before we go get some analysis from everyone. The Colts are 2-5 against the spread in their last 7 games, while the Vikings are 5-2-1 against the spread in their last 8 games. The Colts are 4-0 against the spread in the last 4 meetings they've had against the Vikings, while the under is 4-0 in the last 4 meetings, and the over is 5-1 in the Vikings' last 6 home games. I'll start with Loeb to get some gambling analysis first, and then we'll go to Dennis to get some fantasy takes. Loeb, how do you see this game playing out between the Colts and the Vikings?
This is one of the stronger plays for me of the week. I'm going to take the Vikings at home. I'll swallow the 4. They've won each of their last 12 games as favorites, so definitely at least on the money line. They've covered the spread against 7 of their last AFC opponents. 5 of their games at home, 5 of the last 6 at home's gone over. So I'd expect a lot of points. The 48.5 maybe scares me. If you buy it down, it might be more favorable. But this is a Vikings team that I think is a little upset and needs to prove something. And this is a Colts team that's just getting ready for next year. So I know they're coming off a bye, but I just still don't think they got enough to get things right. And I think Justin Jefferson's going to show out.
Dennis, Adam Thielen is a player that I'm recommending as a sit this week. Feel like he's going up against a good secondary. What are your thoughts on this game from a fantasy standpoint?
Totally agree with your sentiment on Thielen. I think if we look at last week, what we learned from watching the Vikings is you start your QB and or your receivers against them. We saw Goff just absolutely go off, and many of the Lions that were playing were setting some season high numbers in terms of receiving points. So they're 30th against receivers, Minnesota that is. So looking at Pittman, he's available for $5,800. We also have Paris Campbell at $4,400, Alec Pierce at $3,900. I think those are great values for potential high return on investment. And although people who have made it to the fantasy playoffs in their traditional leagues probably have the quarterback position secured if they did lose someone like Kyler Murray, Matt Ryan is only rostered in about 6% ranked defense for fantasy points for quarterbacks. So whether you want him in DFS or if you need to pick up a stream, he might be a good look. He's at 5,200 on DraftKings.
Now that you've heard how Logue feels about this game from a gambling standpoint and Dennis's take on fantasy, the Butt Fumble Sports pick for this game is Minnesota on the money line. We are considering the Colts on a cover play at +5.5 after you buy up that ceiling. And maybe the over, there's some trends that kind of lean towards that way. But for now, we're just playing this game pretty safe, not getting too risky with it. Kirk Cousins, 1 p.m. at home. You have to feel like that's going to be a Vikings win. But other than that, we're going to wait until later in the week. I know I usually say that early in the week is one of the best times to get some gambling opportunities in, but I feel like this game, I want to get a little bit more information before I go and make that bet. So right now, it's just Vikings on the money line, though I may fold that in to some other parlays throughout the week, including I will